We're about to start a panel discussion, and the theme or the title of this discussion is Transitioning from a Nurse to a CEO, exploring entrepreneurial opportunities within and outside the nursing profession. We are very lucky to have highly esteemed panelists here from various fields that are going to share their insights, their experiences regarding entrepreneurship. It's about time that we don't just stick, we should not be a one-trick pony, that we look into opportunities within and outside the nursing profession. So I want to start by just giving a short definition of entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is an individual who identifies opportunities, takes calculated risk, and creates innovative solutions to problems in their own society. Please let me underline that word, identify opportunities. Please, have you heard of the red car theory? Anyone? So it goes like this. If I asked you from morning as you came out of your house to here, how many red cars you saw on the road? What is the answer? Will you remember? No. Why? Well, you were not looking for them. But if I said from now till Maghrib, let's say 5 p.m. or 7 p.m., for every red car you see on the road, I'm giving you 100,000 naira. What will happen? You'll be looking into people's garages, calling friends, please, do you have a red car? Is that not so? So this is the red car theory. Opportunities do not come knocking. People say when opportunity comes knocking, opportunity does not come knocking. You look for opportunities. When you identify those opportunities, then you take the opportunity. So this is a little introduction. I will allow the panelists to introduce themselves. Please, sirs, please, you can give us a little, just a minute to introduce yourself.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Musa Abdullah Sufi. I'm a versatile personality. I teach in university. I will tell you more when we are discussing. So looking for, and also the director and founder for Sufi Innovation and Development Solutions. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm a registered nurse Ibrahim. I'm a registered nurse educator. I'm a part-time lecturer. I'm currently the managing director of University International Market. I'm a rice mill supervisor in Kiara of Flower State.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Mustafa Shehu. I coordinate the World Bank project for adolescent Catholic States. I've been working with the United Nations for the last 13 years on gender spaces. And I'm happy because while I was trying to hit the non-SAR for not being gender sensitive, I realized that majority of the students are actually female. Because my PhD was on education, innovation, technology, core gender. Thank you very much. Happy to see you.
Thank you very much for the brief introduction. So now we are going to look at a brief journey. We just want you to share a little how your journey came to be into entrepreneurship. So I'll start with.
Okay, thank you very much. So let me begin to say that I was born in 1978. I was 45 years old. And at 45 years of age, I visited over 30 countries in the world. There is no single state in Nigeria that I have not worked. I did my first BSc in geography in Bio University, so I'm a product. But I specialized in medical geography. I did my master's, another master's in marine and public health, PhD public health. So during this journey, I have worked in various organizations internationally. I managed projects between Nigeria and Britain and other countries where I always spent 3 months in Nigeria, 3 months in the UK, 3 months in India. building the capacity of young people to see beyond what they learn in school. Okay? So during my journey, I realized that if you study, if you're a medical geographer or you whatever, then there is need for you to be thinking of other things. So I established many different organizations. One of them is Sufi Innovation and Development Solutions, that is doing project partnering and ensuring that we build the capacity of women and youth and understanding that today, especially in Nigeria, why many of us are crying is because we are waiting for one source to give us something. Absolutely. That's why we are crying. We say Shinkafa is 75,000, but if you have multiple sources of income, that will say, I'm sure Honorable that is with us here is not only relying on the allowance coming from the government, he must be doing something. So, in brief, that journey allows me in the university I've learned, but I'm very lucky to be able to come with thinking that innovation and solutions are the way forward. I never think life is easy. I always take the challenge, and that also gives me the opportunity to also use my mobile phone to always be looking at opportunities that exist in social media. And that's why many followers of me on social media, they know I don't talk rubbish, I don't talk nonsense, I only making sense to people to know about this.
I was born in Kunya, Minjibur local government of Kano State, and my journey into nursing began 2009, when I enrolled myself into School of Nursing Kano. And immediately after my graduation as registered nurse, I started working with Murtala Muhammad Specialist Hospital, Hospital Management Board. And later on, I got scholarship with Kano State Government to go to Egypt to study BSc nursing. And when we got to Egypt to study BSc nursing, our salary was stopped, and subsequently allowance was introduced, in which later this allowance was stopped due to transition between government to another government. And then I began to think about doing something different. And after we came back home, we were immediately reinstated and posted to various colleges of nursing. And still I have the dream of starting doing something. And later on, I got married along the way. And my salary is not enough to take care of me, sincerely speaking. And I began to think about what to do. I said, well, I'm already a trained nurse, and remember, when you are a registered nurse, you have so many opportunities. So I just observe around my area and establish a chemist, because we do not have a patent medicine shop around my area. So I observed this and I established a chemist. And this chemist in particular is not more than 2 times of these debts, but it's fetching me more money than my salary. Because my salary then is just 50,000 naira, and the chemist is giving me around 90,000 naira on monthly basis. And later on, I still engage in another scholarship with Konkosia Development Foundation. I traveled to India for my master's. And I have duly applied for this scholarship and duly applied for release. But along the way, my salary was stopped again. So which make me to think about, okay, I'm doing this job because of job security. And if there is no security, then what is the essence of doing the job?
Nothing at all.
So I later on decided, after presuming, to join a private college of nursing, which immediately I later on changed my mind to maybe, okay, let me come and think about what to do. Then I opened an office in Singa Market. And that office in Singa Market, I went to register the office as an entity, Konyasku International Limited. And I approached some of my relatives to maybe access some goods that can be sold in the market. And as I'm talking to you, that office employed at least 7 people directly that I'm paying them from what we are making. And we have an annual turnover of around 2 billion naira, which I did not say is my own money, but turnover means money in, money out, money in, money out of around this figure. So when I look at the topic, it's a very interesting topic. Being a nurse did not limit me to only maybe serving in the site, but think about other opportunities around me and other things. Let me not take much of the time.
All right, just like what my senior colleague mentioned in the development space, by November 23rd this year, I'll be 36. And my journey actually started because I sold firewood to go to school. I cut grasses to go to school, so life was not that interesting at the beginning. I couldn't pass chemistry at my first YA. I had an F9. So I'm proud of that because it made me to redouble my efforts. It's good to mention this story so that we know that all hope is not lost, even if you're not getting it right. But fast forward, I began my journey in this space when I was in level 2 actually. That was when I started working with the United Nations as young champions for Nigeria. And immediately after my graduation, but it was interesting to know that I couldn't get admission to university, so I had to do national diploma first in computer science. And then my first degree and second degree award in computer science and MIS. But I saw myself jumping into gender spaces, talking about girls' education, women in ICT, women in vocational education. And I think that was the reason why I chose my PhD to be on gender studies, education, innovation, technology. I'm a member of the London Business School for the 3rd time, and I'm a member of the British Chartered Institute of IT. I also am a trained chef from the Mexican kitchen. And I think the last time I bought a bread is more than 5 years. Yesterday, I mixed my dough and had my bread before starting for Kano this morning from the first state. And I'm proud of that. So in the development space, nursing being in a clinic or in a hospital is one out of a million other opportunities. And discussing this will go a long way in giving our brothers and sisters another rethinking of where they can rechannel themselves. People thought there are no jobs. There are actually more million jobs than the available graduates we have in the world. It's just the way my sister put it. The red car looking for you or you looking for the red car. If you go that way, the theory will be very simple for you. In the development space, like what my senior colleague mentioned, what made me jump into just another way out of the office was when I was offered a job, a salary of 2 million naira. From 1995 to date, my salary has never been less than 2 million every single month. But I left it because it's not giving me what I want. People think salary is the solution. Mental health is the solution. I go to the office 7, I close 11, I still sit on my bed with laptop working. I can't remember the last time I visit friends. I can't remember the last time I attended ordinary wedding next door to my house. It was becoming an impossible life journey. It means I'm only accumulating money to pay for medical bills in the future. So I left it. I could still remember my email when my senior colleague from Israel was saying, something is wrong with your brain, you need to go and see a psychologist. When I was saying I'm going to leave. But it's good because, ladies and gentlemen, money is the least solution to our problem. It's the least, you keep it by the side. How are you mentally? How are you psychologically? How are you impacting in your community matters a lot. Yes. So I co-founded, I guess, an Data Global Academy. And together with Sufi Innovation, we are working to bring skills, vocational skills, blue skills to the doorstep of young people. From January last year to date, we've trained about 8,000 young people in Kano, and we're training more. And in June last year, United Nations gave us the only organization that will be managing Nigerian dashboard for youth and skills. And we saw ourselves doing a lot. I've not traveled much like what my senior colleague did, but I have two citizens outside Nigeria. I have a passport for Rwanda and have another one recently for the UK. And in February 12, coming 2 weeks, I'll be representing Nigeria to attend a global experience sharing on vocational and digital literacy. First 7 days is going to be in India, and then the remaining days is going to be in New Delhi. But my core thing is, anytime we are building capacity of people, apology to our parents, the moment you are above 55 years, I will say, I am sorry. Let's bring the young people on board. Anytime we are sending people for training, I remember my director jumped to my office and said, I'm old enough to be your father, but you're not sending me for training. I said, send your child. You go and sleep. We want the young people to take the position. We're not saying leaders of tomorrow. No, let's start like yesterday. Let the young people take the position like yesterday. So this is the global thinking. And I'm sure when we finish this conversation, you will see, especially from my senior colleague who are already doing a lot, you will see why we need to think twice. So be like a Lipton. When you tear a Lipton tea and you take it, it is bitter, so you don't know anything about it. When you dip it into hot water, you will feel the taste, you will see the aroma, you will see everything. So when you are still a Lipton not dipped in hot water, you are not yet getting your result. If you want to know your potential, the potential that God bestowed in you, leave those nice spaces. Dress anyhow and go out. You are going to get where you need to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for sharing your insights. Like I said, we are very, very lucky to have them there. For me, I am a reluctant entrepreneur.
No.
That's the best way to describe it. But I'm very big on innovation. I keep thinking, what can I bring that is different? But entrepreneurship, I entered reluctantly. So I found myself hearing stories about girls. This is my latest project, issue of menstrual hygiene. It's called menstrual poverty, actually. And Kano has one of the highest incidents of menstrual poverty in the country. And I got messages from secondary schools, girls not going to classes, those in boarding, because they didn't have the pad to use to reach class. And that just got me thinking, what can I do? Like we said, entrepreneurship is providing a solution to a problem existing, not in America, not in UK, but in your own very society. And that led me to reusable menstrual pad. Because pads are expensive. A pack of 7 is 1,500 naira always. So I just got thinking, okay, what can I do that I can impact my own society? And alhamdulillah, I can say now, infinity pads are available in market for sale as of this month. And one thing that young people don't understand is that I don't have money, where will I get the pad? I didn't have capital. But I had the idea, and someone was willing to give me 2.5 million for my idea to start the business. So it's not just, I don't have capital, where will I get the money? It's not that. There are people that will give you the money to start the business, if you have the right idea. So thank you very much, panelists, for sharing. So now let's look at the challenges that we face in business. What advice can we give to these young, brilliant minds? And there's one thing. In nursing, there's a kind of taboo regarding entrepreneurship. If you're a nurse, you're supposed to serve the humanity. You're not supposed to think about money. True or false? The moment you bring your little shoes in the hospital, people will start looking at you. Nursing is not a profession of making money. Our reward is with Allah. Yes, our reward is with God. But entrepreneurship goes beyond making money. So what are the challenges we face? How do we advise these young, brilliant minds on how to either face those challenges or even avoid those challenges in the first place?
Thank you. I'm actually a poet. Yes, I write poems and read poems just like this. Nursing is the sound I always want to hear. It's the words I always want to read. If not for nurse, the world might not be in existence today because COVID was ready to overcome everywhere. But the nurses standing still and fight. And today, here we are, smiling, celebrating, talking and empowering ourselves. So be the nurse that will keep bringing the change. But as a nurse, look for money again. But always have God in your mind. Okay, now I cease to be a poet, I'm back to the discussion. Okay, so I think one of the things that I will tell you is that there is nothing easy in life. Anybody, no matter how inspirational, professional speaker that will tell you, if you do this, you'll find life easy, they are lying. There is nothing easy in this life. Whether you are in America, whether you're in Europe, anywhere, we are all the same in our own challenges. I always tell people, in the year 2022, over 48,000 people were gunned down, gunshot in the United States of America. But do you know the story? It's not been told because their media cares about their country and their story more. But in our own case, it's not the same. So as nurses who want to excel beyond nursing practices, first you look at the challenges around you. Already there is high expectation from the families. Everyone wants you to start work and then you begin to inject, you're going to support the family and that. But I tell you, you must learn how to manage that. As you see me sitting here, I'm a development freelance journalist. I write over 100 articles last year. I featured in many different TV shows, like Mata Ayo. I appeared 3 times in Mata Ayo in different projects. I spent 2 months campaigning on mental health. Some of you might see it in the area 24. I'm telling you that despite all that, I'm always going to the field. You'll see me with the IDPs, internet displaced people, working with them. You will see me traveling all over. You will see me with the Almajirai eating together. You will see me doing a lot of crazy things. Still, I'm doing my work. The reason is, as a nurse, if you want to also excel to other things, make sure you make yourself happy by doing some extraordinary things. Not that you are facing challenges from the family, you are challenges from friends, you are challenges from this, you are challenges from that. Don't go to the business that you don't have idea. This is one of the things that is making many Nigerians losing a lot of their resources, including, in fact, the entire democracy of Nigeria, because it's borrowed. That's why you are still fighting for it. You are still doesn't even know the direction you are going. Because we're supposed to have our local African context the way we think. So as a nurse, always if you want to go into business, first and foremost, look at what problem are you solving. Are you doing business buying and selling? Are you opening your organizations to employ people and so on? But one thing I recommend always is in your problem solving. Don't do problem implementation, do problem solving. Problem implementation is when there is bandits in Nigeria and then we go to Kenya and say, oh, Kenya also address. So you carry their blueprint and apply in Nigeria. That is solution implementation. It will never work. In fact, the way you solve problem in Kaduna, it will not be the same the way you solve it in Kano. But problem solving skills is where, can you hear me? You know I'm a teacher, you know we're all teachers. So solution implementation is where you look at your problem, you study it, and then you now ask yourself if you come for a job. You know why? I will just go to your profile and see, what are you writing? Today I'm a chick, tomorrow I'm a babe. Or you message me, we never meet, you just message me, hi, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. We didn't say, hi, hello, hi, assalamu alaikum, my name is this, and no, you just say hi, and then you wait for me. That means there is no word. You don't even know what to start. So why I'm saying all this is that the challenges are enormous. The challenges will continue. The challenges in Nigeria you see today, don't ever expect the challenge of Nigeria will cease. In the 70s, Al-Rawi, I was listening to his even yesterday, he said, Ankara wa mai ya zama naira hudu, 4 naira. Yana kammala ya lokacin yana cewa ya za a duniyar tashi, 4 naira. Today is how much?
700.
So please, just work on the situation, be creative, be innovative, consult people who are there before you. I think this is in brief what I will add for you. Thank you.
Nursing is all about serving humanity. It's the biggest scam I have ever heard about. Yes, absolutely, it is a scam. Why don't you go and read religious studies so that you come and teach Quran? Will you be able to work like in Amin Kano for 10 years without them paying you a damn a penny? You can actually not. Right? Because you need to sustain yourself. But meanwhile, while you are trying to look for money, you should look for it in a legitimate way. And this is the essence of ethics and etiquette. And let me tell you one thing. This issue of quackery in nursing will never be erased without nurses going into a business, into an entrepreneurship. Because if you know the ethics and etiquette, you will not go beyond it. When nurses establish a school of nursing, they will make sure that they try to do it up to standard. This is because they know what is the standard. And when nurses do a hospital, they will try to do it to the standard. This is because they know what is standard. But when somebody, maybe from outside, come to establish a school of nursing, will not care about what is nursing and midwifery standard. We just do it so that you will get the monetary value of it. But you that you are insider, you know the ethics and etiquette, so that will guide you. And one thing that you should believe is that whatever you are doing, remember your first aid skills. You should consider yourself first before you maybe consider the victim you are going to save. When you as first aider, you are in danger, then everything is endangered. Because while serving humanity, you can lose yourself as well. One thing for sure, very important, is for us to know that what your employer will always tell you is that what you are doing, you are serving humanity. Meanwhile, you are trying to build his business. Be it you are working for government, be it you are working for private, be it you are working for any organization, what they will try to use is the taboo that you are serving humanity. Whatever you do, even entrepreneurs are serving humanities. Are serving humanity. Because selling rice is also an important thing. Because without rice, then there will be a big problem, right? So also, without nursing, whatever you are doing, you are solving a particular problem. Without nursing, you will have a problem related to nursing. And one thing that helps you to establish yourself is knowing what put money into my pocket. You can be employee, you can be a self-employed, maybe owner of maybe patent medicine shop, owner of maybe school of nursing, owner of maybe hospital, and you can be a business person, like owner of a company or corporation. And you can be an investor or something that is somebody that brings some amount for maybe taking profit back. So this is very, very important. Please, while you are trying to look for money, don't do something that you will go beyond what your religion teach you. Don't do something that go beyond your ethics and etiquette, and don't do something inhuman. Like we used to read it in our oaths. I will abstain from whatever is deleterious or mischievous. I will not administer. I will not knowingly administer any harmful drug. Something like this. But sincerely speaking, you should try as much as to establish something that will make difference. To establish something that will solve a social problem. Like quackery is a problem in nursing. Okay, build school of nursing. Nurses should take it as challenge to build more school of nursing that they will do it to their taste, to their standard. I hope you understand me. Thank you.
So you have to forgive me because I cannot give you, this is kind of very extraordinary examples. I'll try within my own small limit. Perhaps what registered nurse said is that we should think outside the box. That is the reality. It will shock you to know that I participated in a war as a first aider. I was working with the International Committee of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Movement, and I saw myself in the battlefield in Sierra Leone. People getting killed, and we advance and pick them, and then we prepare them, and then we evacuate from there. And I learned a lot. Although 26 of us left and only 7 of us returned, the rest paid the price for unexpected shells. But then it served as a big lesson because I'm already going to publish a book to this effect. But just to tell you that you have to think outside the box, try this and try that. But when I was 21, I happened to work with the current VC of Bayero University, Professor Sekir Abbas. And then there was the need to develop education sector plan for Nigeria. And I was his secretary, he was the chairman of the committee. He was saying, Mr. Bar, did you just study education? I said, no, I read education. I only studied computer science. But glaringly, I learned a lot. We stayed with Professor Segil, the same room in Katsina for 20 days with other stakeholders. He drove to Kano, he returned back. This happened for almost 2 years. And the result told me that also I can keep computer science and still get a life. And that is one thing you should do. Within the context of you being a nurse, there are millions of opportunities. How about going into content development? How about saying every week I will release 2 minutes video about menstrual hygiene? You already have Dr. Nagima as an example. How about saying I want to be a content reviewer? So all the journals, I'll go and register my company. I want to be reviewing journals. I want to be editing journals before they are published. You get millions of work on your table. You can't finish them. How about you going into what he said? You have a patent medicine store. In January 2023, we established Ideas Pharmacy. Now we already have about 6 staff we are paying. And just like when he said, the result is promising because we are also putting 20% of all the return on investment free for medical services. But that's not even the case. When you close from school in BUK, you picked your final result, you collected your NYC certificate. If that is the very day you will start asking yourself, where do I go next? Where do I get upkeep? You're already on the wrong track. It starts from yesterday. Don't continue to photocopy your original document until the original is start looking like photocopy, looking for job. No. If you have to photocopy this document more than 3 times to get a job, then you need to calm down and rethink your life. So recently, I got another crazy idea. June last year, I attended a global conference in Thual, in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where we are doing a mid-annual review on SDGs. And I was asked, which vocational skills are you going to take for the next 7 days? Everybody was speaking mechatronics, robot, I think resin art, jewelries, gold, and all of that. She left in the morning to the place, her skirt torn. Ordinarily, she will go and change, right? But that's the first day to the office. Blue skill would have helped her to read before coming what is expected of a newcomer to an office. Nobody will stop her from changing. She returned back home. She's supposed to arrive, she was supposed to arrive, I think, 8 a.m. And already 9 a.m. she was still at home trying to get all the gaming things, look at the mirror again. The clock was ticking in the office. Even the normal staff arrived. 2 things she could have done. Continue to office, ask mom to send somebody else. Stop by the gate and call the director. I'm still in the car because I have a transcript. Once I get it, I jump in. Or just grab any wrap along your line, put it and go. We can sort those out. After all, you can ask somebody to borrow you 1 million because in the next 30 days you are going to get that 3 of that. But blue skill was not there. So once she arrived the office, before she even jumped in, she got a text. Dear Mrs. This, you are expected to report to the office by 8, which you have not done, and there was no report to us that something happened. You are by this text sacked from your job. And she left. That is when they will start. You could have done this. Ladies and gentlemen, we need blue skills. We interviewed a medical student who was taking a position as a gender officer. She graduated with MBBS. She has not even got into the clinic to work. 2 things made her nearly lost the job. Anger management. And I like what you put. How do you manage your anger? People will say, I have like zero tension, down to and simple. Somebody will go to that post and say, it's not true, and you say, God punish you. What is the connection? You are just saying this. This lady was trying to react. You are going to go and discuss with young ladies on how to manage their anger. So we need to know to what extent can you manage your anger. I remember asking her a provocative question like, please sit down, I'll ask you to come inside. Before she done, I said, who invited you? Why is the invitation? Come and go out. I was trying to manage her temper and see to what extent can she be that. At a point she was to react. I think something get into her and she said, I'm sorry. And she got all my 20 marks waiting. I just said 20. I said, I'll finish my interview. I just left. Because I was trying to see to what extent can you be calm, because you are going to talk to people about calmness. As a nurse, I'm not a nurse, but last year, January, February, I wish I am a nurse, actually. Because we were developing a document and we were paying the registered nurse working in the office times 3 of what we are earning every month just to do a 1-week job. And I was telling my unit head, are you sure I'm not going to study nursing again? Because it is exactly. So, but I was part of the team that invented the anti-shock garment. Yes, I was part of the team. I'm not a medical person, but I was doing the technical review. So recently we are going to invent another one with elasticity, so that the obese patients can also use it. I know we have quite a number of them in Kano hospitals. All of these are telling you nothing related to computer science. I am a computer scientist. The only thing computer science is doing for me now is help me type my reports. Every other thing is gender related, health related, education related. Before July 1st next year, we will have sent back 19,000 girls back to school in Kaduna State. Not only that, but digital literacy, market relevant skills. Who is ready to do that? The TikTok you are talking about, the person with the highest follower do not talk. What do you do with your mouth? Kami Happy doesn't talk. He only look at you, do gestures, and get millions. What are you going to do with your own boys to get millions? He went to Qatar for the World Cup. He was given $2 million to attend. And the current rate of today is 2.6 billion. When he attended the opening, he also didn't talk. He only showed some gestures and did like this. In 15 minutes, 4 million comments. And TikTok sent their own money. Thank you very much for using our platform. What are you using it for? Ladies and gentlemen, stepping out of BUK and blaming anybody for not giving you a job is like the red car theory. We were living in Edo State last Friday, and the drivers who were picking people to Abuja were going with Hilux. I told the driver, what are you doing? He said, no, we are set to go. I said, but the boot is empty. He said, yes. I said, well, that's not being an entrepreneur. The next, I said, let me borrow 28,000. We entered into a market, we priced unripe plantain, and we filled the Hilux boot. Ladies and gentlemen, he's not paying extra call. By the time they arrived at Abuja, they sold me about 90,000. I called him and said, send my 28 and take your 62. That is being out of the box. The car is going to leave Edo empty. And why is it coming empty? In 6 hours, 7 hours, you got 62,000 naira. Everything. I have never bought data or airtime in the bank. I have never, and I will never. Somebody cannot live in Lagos with billions in Lekki and I'll be buying data to increase his wealth, while the young person I'm trying to help is here in my street selling the charger and I'm not buying from him. Change your mindset. Buy from yourself. Don't buy from outside. GT can wait, Fidelity can wait, but your friend next to you may be the person that will steal the battery of your car if he's not employed. Instead of buying a gun to protect yourself at home, all of the young people in your area that you feel are your threat, get them a job. You will not buy the gun. So we are challenging all of you. Think outside the box. If you don't start inviting her every 2 weeks to come here and take you through the journey of becoming independent. Let me stop here. Thank you.
So just quickly on the new skills. Some few days ago, I was traveling and somebody just punched on me at the airport. And I wanted to say sorry, and he said, "You're very stupid." He just told me, "You don't know who I am?" I say, I'm sorry. I don't know who you are, but I'm nobody. And then he started looking calm like that. No, I'm very sorry. And we jumped into the same plane. And we met. And he was very uncomfortable because he was expecting me to react negatively. So blue skills shine. Mutum ya kalle ka ce dan iska ko shegiya ko dan banza ko waye ce na gode. That's blue skills.
Thank you very much for elaborating more on the challenges that entrepreneurs can face and how we go about this. I just want to add one thing. Marlon said crazy ideas. Did you know that majority of innovations come from crazy ideas? Just imagine the person that invented the aeroplane. Just think you are his friends and I come to you and I say, I want to invent something. Imagine something like a bird that flies. What would you tell me?
You're mad.
You are crazy.
Exactly.
You ask me, have you met gravity? Do you know gravity? So all innovations actually come from crazy ideas. Just last week, a colleague of mine and I went to meet a potential investor for a potentially crazy idea.
Exactly.
And the investor looked at us and said, no, in Nigeria, we don't have that technology. You can't do this, you can't do this. These are all the reasons why it will fail. And what made me happy was the moment we stepped out of that room, she looked at me and looked at her and we said, we are doing this.
Yeah.
That no is the fuel that actually pushes us. I don't like saying this story, but I think I was in 200 level and I remembered saying, we were being taught malaria in class. Some of my students have had this. And the lecturer was explaining when the mosquito comes, while it is piercing the skin, it releases a substance, and that is why you don't feel pain. And just being 19 years old, I raised up my hand very innocently and said, sir, can we find out what that thing is so that we put it at the tip of a needle and we don't feel pain? And the person turned to me and said, if it would have been possible, a white man would have done it. And it crushed me. I believed actually I could not do. This is called the white man method. This is the inferiority complex. We believe that if it would have been possible, a white man would have done it. Do you know that Nigerians are one of the most intelligent people in the entire world?
Absolutely.
This is true.
Absolutely.
So, thank you very much, panelists, for sharing your insights. I just want to give 2 or 3 minutes to our audience if there's anyone with a question that our panelists will answer. Anyone? Anyone with a crazy idea that wants validation? If you don't have question, you might have a crazy idea and you need validation. 6. None? Then we've not learned anything today. Okay, please.
And the camera person is also
Very good. Just 1 or 2 people.
People don't want to go on.
You have low what?
Look for now. Like people don't have customers or 1 or 2 some people are just ordinary people. How will we react to it?
Panelist?
Yeah. Okay.
You have a business and you have.
He got the question.
I think the problem is there is no problem. You are not looking like the way you are in the last 20 years. And you can't look that way. That was a process. Your mama was bearing with you for 9 months in the pregnancy. You were born. You only know your mama. If your dad traveled for a very long time and he comes back after 2 months, you show your face because the face is not familiar. But the society keeps going that way. You come to the school, you ask so many crazy questions. If you remember your level 1, you laugh at yourself up to this level. So it's a process. If you will have customers from day one coming to fill your shop, believe me, after 2 weeks, if they dry down, you close the shop. You say, my village people. I was part of the people who had underscored we did a research about what happened to Country Mall. And it's all about this. When you open a business today, and your capacity is 200, and 1,000 people come to buy, still maintain the 200. Don't go crazy by making it 1,000. In 2 weeks' time, you'll be looking for 1/10 of the 200 and they're not there. So the process of business requires patience, understanding, and all of the process of resilience. It will interest you to know that a business of 10,000 with experience can sustain and become a billionaire conglomerate, while a business of 10 million that compete with 1,000 will crash the following year. So once you see no patronage, just go and thank God, because God is giving you experience free of charge. It's only a matter of time. Dangote say, my life as a billionaire started from 5 million naira. That Tata said, I went to my dad and said, I want to start business. And he said, what do you have? Like, I'm not giving you everything free. They added money, he don't wear in Kasol cigarette, any of this market. He don't wear, and he was selling water in tin can. That was his journey, and this is this thing. So, the moment you see our business, and it is going, please succeed. The very day I applied for the first job, and I got a rejection letter, I wrote back to them and said, can you give me 3 or 4 successful candidate results? I want to study it. I studied it. I tried another opportunity. I couldn't get. But when I was trying the third one, I said, if they sent back and say I did not succeed, I will want to go to the office and open a conversation that I have succeeded, because I knew what I want. So when I was invited for the interview, they said 10 of us, 3 will go, and the rest will go home. When they finished, before they placed the result, they said, if you think you succeeded, move this way. And when I moved, somebody said, so 3 of you think you succeeded? Yes. I said, I'm not even succeeding. I know if you are taking one person and the one, because I know what I want. But it was a sleepless night, perseverances. While I was in Kaduna Polytechnic, I trekked 9 kilometers to school every day and come back, because my mother could not afford the transport money, and my dad was dead. But it was a good experience, because when I see somebody going through that tunnel, I'll tell him, continue, it is a matter of time. So please, low patronage is part of the big story of success in the future. Maybe you want to add something?
Yes. Actually, I have one customer whom I visited his place for like 20 times before he can buy from me.
Exactly.
Every day I will go to his place and say, Alaji, do you want to buy my product? He will say, no, I'm not ready to buy it. But I consistently go to his place and talk to him myself. To the extent that he feel like, okay, I need to try it once. And let me tell you one thing, last 2 months, he has made a deposit on his name of more than 100 million naira, waiting for goods. Not even to take the goods to him to pay, but for him to even put the money and wait for me to supply him with the goods. And consistency is all about consistency and determinations. Once you are determined, just be consistent and you will succeed.
So for me, I would just advise you to be like a politician. Politicians are people who will sit down to see what people want. What is it that if I talk, the people will? So if I'm engaging young people, what kind of sound am I going to make? So my customers, are they males or females? Who are my target? And what kind of things that I will do? For example, I advise one mechanic in Inugu about 10 years ago. I went there, we went to wash a car. So he started a car wash and he was complaining. I said, why can't you just open like a drink by beside you? Like you have a fridge. The fridge is there. Anybody who brings his car there, you give him free small bottle of water. And then you have minerals and all that thing that anybody who wants for sale. That one bottle of water alone generated an increase of customer within 1 week of over 100%. Just because I'm a customer, I see it, you give me that bottle that I get for free. It then becomes a subject of discussion. In fact, within 1 year, he opened about 5 branches. So as a person, you must be innovative, you must be creative, you must be reading, and you must be asking. So I say politician because you can see our politicians are very smart. They will just look at how are we going to engage people. That's why they can lose election, and 10 years when they come back or 8 years, you still feel they are the most lovable for you. Because they now sit down and they study and they find a way at the message they can use. So maybe Honorable can give us some tips on how we can engage more customers.
Thank you very much. Please, can we give a round of applause for our panelists? Thank you very much, sirs, for coming. Thank you.
Thank you.